welcome to Crochet Knit Love by Jo. I'm Jo and this is podcast number 4. Welcome back to those of you who have been with me since podcast 1. I know we're only on podcast 4, but it feels like it's been a while. And welcome to any new viewers or subscribers. I hope you're enjoying my little podcast. I've had some really lovely comments, which is really great because I'd be a liar if I haven't felt a bit stupid doing this. I'm talking to a camera. There's nobody in the room. Even the dog's left me. She's gone downstairs. But I hope that you enjoy this little yarn adventure with me and see the different things that I have or makers. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy it anyway. I'm trying not to waffle because I was about to. What I want to say is I really want to keep this podcast light-hearted and a safe space and just somewhere where you can escape with me and just switch off from what is going on in the world at the minute. It's just making me feel really, really sad. Lockdown and COVID had a big effect on a lot of us, and I was really feeling quite optimistic with what was happening, and now there's other things going on that kind of make you feel a bit flat with it. And I know I'm not the only one. You know, there's loads of people on Instagram talking about things. I just really, really want to keep this as a relaxed, calm place that you can just grab yourself a drink and just sit and take 20 minutes out your day and just switch off, because I think it's important. Everyone needs to look after themselves one way or another. What I did during lockdown quite early on was, because I was obviously teaching myself knitting, I looked to see what podcasts there were, and I discovered a fantastic podcast. It was in a craft magazine that I came across it. So there's two sisters in Canada called the Grocery Girls. They're only a little bit older than me, only a little bit, and I could really relate to the fact that they were doing a podcast, and like me, they were just going with it and being themselves. And I binge watched it, and I'm actually caught up with it. Sad, isn't it? They've got a lot of episodes. Like me, they have a yarn problem, yarn addiction. But I really enjoy watching it because it's just other people with similar interests. So I hope, yeah, those of you watching this can kind of relate to that and get a little bit of something out of it. So anyway, should we talk about yarn? Should we talk about what I'm wearing? Because to be honest, I'm really hot. So just in case I need to take this cardigan off, I'm hoping I'll cool down in a minute. So this cardigan, which I have attempted to say twice what the name was, and managed to call the cardigan the name of the designer. So here we go. The cardigan is called Cloud 9 by Iron Lamb. Yes, she got it right. And it's made in Paintbox wool, or Aran with wool, which I had never used before, but the designer of this cardigan used that yarn. So I decided, so I could try and keep the gauge, to use the same yarn. It's really warm, really, really warm. It's not scratchy, and the cardigan just fits. I'm trying to show you. Perfect, in my opinion. Just some simple stripes in it. I didn't add buttons to this. I didn't want buttons of it because it just sits really nice. See if you can see it a bit more. I have to try not to move too much because my chair, there you go, it's making really awful noises. So I'm sorry, that is the chair, not me. But yeah, I did it in a grey and some pinks. I can't remember the grey. I'll have a look. But Paintbox, yeah, I'd never used it and it was really nice. But this is crocheted. I think in knitting it would look lovely. But it has been a really, really warm cardigan. I'll wear it over a dress, or kind of, I've got like a denim tunicky type dress that I wear it with. But it really does, I get a bit warm. So I do find sometimes it's a little bit warm. But it would be a great cardigan to have on sort of a summer evening when it gets a bit chilly. You would be lovely and toasty in that. So that's the Wool Mix Aran by Paintbox, and the cardigan is Cloud 9 by Iron Lamb. I got it, look at me. So blankets. Oh, I'm throwing the things on the floor. I have a number of blankets that I've made that I've either gifted or made because someone's asked me to make them. So I may have to list the odd picture of, or show the odd picture of a blanket I've done. But this is one of the ones that I won't give this one away. This is a corner to corner. So this is crochet again. This is a corner to corner blanket. There are other makers who have put like how to do it on their pages. I did this because I know how to do corner to corner, which is C2C crochet, where you basically would start in this corner and then you go out diagonally, so the blanket is made at an angle. It isn't made just with where you would do a normal granny stitch blanket where you would just go back and forth, or a double crochet. This is a corner to corner. Now the yarn, I keep calling it yarn, but it's not. It's actually, so the cotton, so it's Katona cotton, and Shapeys, you can get these individual, I believe, but Shapeys do a box of, I want to say it's 99 or 100 of these in a big box, and to be honest, the box looks too nice to use. I used every single one except for just one ball I was left with, and it made a big size blanket. It's cotton, so it's quite heavy, but this is a great blanket for a picnic, you know, putting on the floor, because it's quite hard wearing, the cotton. It doesn't, you don't always get, sometimes you can get that kind of fluffy effect. I mean, this has got a little bit of halo to it where it's because of the wool that's in it, but this, nothing. So yeah, there's a couple of, I'll see if I can link. There is a lady who's actually got how to do this on her website. I'm going to put the name underneath. So she brought out a pattern or how to do it after I think I'd made mine. I don't know how I ended up doing mine. I think I'd seen it's Elma. There's a children's book called Emma, and I'd actually seen, it's an elephant, the patchwork, and that's where I kind of got the inspiration from. But also I had this whole box of these that I didn't know what to make with it, and I've got several boxes over there that they look lovely and I haven't used them, but that was a perfect way to use them. So yeah, also that would be really good, because they're 10 grams. So you do an 8 by 8 square, so 8 lots of trebles they are, and that will use 10 grams. So if you had similar yardage to what these are, which I don't know what the yardage is, 10 centimeters, 36 stitches and 26. So yeah, that's 100% cotton, but you might find that you'll, if you had your scraps, where you end up with lots of scraps of acrylic or hand-dyed yarn, you could make a beautiful corner to corner blanket with it. So that's that one. Right, hat. So I can hear my dog barking. I've tried several times to record this. I've had someone sawing outside. I don't know what they're doing in the garden, but that was loads of noise. And then I got up because I hadn't set the phone up properly to record, and then my dog got in my seat, so then I was faffing about with that. By the time I sat down to record it, I was really hot, and then obviously rambling afterwards, and I forgot half the names of things. I have little post-it notes all here to remind me. I'm such a professional. I hear you say I should be on telly. I'm that good. No. Anyway, hats. So this is a knitted hat. I have been fortunate to pattern test for this designer on a number of occasions. Beanie Boat. This lovely lady lives on a boat, and she has a little yarn shop on her boat, and I want to go and visit. So I'm just trying to figure out how I can rope my husband into, oh, we need to go on holiday in that area so I can go and visit. I'm sure I'll suss some up. But she has done a number of great patterns, which I will, you know, show on other podcasts, but this particular one I love. So I, as I've mentioned, have a little dog called Ellie. She's wonderful, slightly crazy, but those of you with dogs or cats, they're so affectionate, and the love you get from them is unconditional. So anything dog related, I'm up for it. So she had a pattern test for the Bryson beanie, and it was in honor of her dad, who sadly she had recently lost. So she came up with this pattern and donated money to charity for it as well. So to pattern test it, I did the pattern test, and I also bought the pattern. Just, you know, every little helps, especially when it's for charity. But she made this paw print beanie, which I love. Just makes me happy, the little paw prints. The only thing I found with colour work, so this was quite early on with the colour work, my floats are quite tidy inside, but when I first was doing it, I was really tight with the colour work. So as I think I mentioned it on another podcast, when I was blocking, not this one but another colour work out, some of the yarn actually split, because I think I'd done it so tight it didn't have any give in it. So I think a number of designers recommend you go up a needle size. Now Beanie Boat's patterns are really, really good because they have as well progress charts within it. So they'll have the chart for the colour work, and then they will also have little tick boxes. I often, like, I'll draw lines through it, highlight it, put a marker on it, or use one of those progress keeper boards, you know, with the metal Knit Pro Do one. She has tick boxes, which is brilliant. So any of her patterns I've done, I've been able to clearly see where I am with it. So I would go over and check Beanie Boat on Ravelry, and she's also on Instagram. She's got a number of really fantastic patterns, and this one I would highly recommend, particularly if you love animals and you like paw prints. Yeah, go and have a look. I absolutely love that one. The only thing I did do, I actually made the hat a little bit too small for what I needed, so it doesn't fit my head. But Gloria can sometimes wear it, or I've got polystyrene head. Isn't it weird how you have to name things, or is it just me? Am I just weird? I've got... She's scary, isn't she? My dog Ellie doesn't like Polly. She barks at her. She really doesn't like... She's a little bit... I started out with one of these I was trying to take better photos of my hat. It's really hard taking a hat. You just kind of lie it down. But I got Gloria Glasshead. See? She's got a name. And... that's just better. It just looks better and it sits better. Oh, polystyrene, apart from the fact I really don't like the polystyrene noise. I'm really sorry if anyone's got headphones and they, like me, really don't like polystyrene. But she falls over. It's like she's had too many beverages, and you're standard to take a picture of it, particularly if it's outside, and yeah, she falls over. But I have still kept her. But yeah, she doesn't look as friendly as the other one. I prefer the glass one. Anyway, there we go, rambling. So, I'm just moving all my post-it notes, trying to be efficient. So let's talk yarn bags. So I have a few yarn bags. I know you find that hard to believe. Me, lots of yarn bags. I will not be the only person out there, but I am admitting it to all of my subscribers. I have a yarn bag addiction, to go with all the other addictions. So I discovered a lady on Etsy, and she's called Jane Stitch 63 on Etsy. I've bought several different bags that she's made, and she uses recycled materials as well, which I really like. And she brought out these gorgeous, you'll see one just over there, a little, I'll show you with this one, it's easier. Like little gift bags. They are so reasonably priced that I bought a couple and put a skein of sock yarn in to gift to my couple of yarny friends, Anne and Yan, for, I think it was was it Christmas gone or last Christmas? It might have just been in general, just as a, no, it was a gift. So when we did Fate Yarndale for our friend when we couldn't go for a birthday, I'll talk about that on another podcast. But I did these little, yes, that's when I did do them. I did got these little bags. They're wonderful. So if you are knitting a pair of socks, or you have a skein of yarn or little balls of yarn, this is great for putting in. You can use them as gift bags, but I actually use mine. I have these hooks kind of scattered around, and quite often you'll see there's a star one there, but I'll hook my little bag onto it and then hang it. These are just hooks off of Amazon, but I'll have them on. I've got a little craft trolley downstairs that I have near where I sit, and I'll hang these on. I use it to keep notions in it because I've got a couple of these. Or if I'm taking a little, like a pair of socks to do, or wrist warmers, I take this little bag with me. It's so small and portable, but it's so cute. Love it. There she goes. So yes, also Jane Stitch makes really great hanging bags. I don't know whether you can see that one there. My little mushrooms on. So that's the bigger. She does a set of two. She does the bigger one, and she makes the little ones. And these can hang on a number of things, but I also do exactly the same with these, and I might have my patterns in there, or some notions, or yarn. They're really versatile, but also they're not just for yarn, crochet, knitting. They could be used for all manner of crafts, or for storing if you had children's bits in there, or for babies or pets. I sound like I'm doing a big sell on it, but I just really, if I really like something I'm gonna give it a shout out on here, because I think it's good to share other people's makes. And these are great. Please check her out, Jane Stitch 63 on Etsy. She does really lovely bags with a lot of recycled fabric, and they're really well made, and they're robust, because I'm not gentle with my bags. They get thrown all over the place. So talking of yarn bags, another maker, Bertie and Poppet on Etsy. Have you seen the size of this bag? And it has balls on it. Knitting balls, yarn balls. I ordered it thinking it would be a fairly big size. I obviously didn't check the measurements, and it's huge. It has that lovely fabric in it. It's her larger bags, and it fits a whole jumper in it. So this is a jumper that I'm making. God, look at it. This week I've spent more time untangling it. I've got ends. No, I'm not organised. I don't sew my ends in as I go. Why would I want to do that? I'd much rather get them all knotted and then get the ump all evening trying to unknot them. I am playing yarn chicken with this jumper. So this jumper, I pattern tested a jumper by Tiny Teal Handcrafted. It was a jumper design to come out, just a raglan top down, and I did it slightly smaller than I would have liked. I realised because I wear it, I love it, but I wanted a looser one. So I think it was last year when I started it. This has been on the needles for ages. It's yarn that I've got from Lovecrafts. I will put a note underneath of the make of it because I haven't actually got any to hand. This, I'm on the sleeve, so I've done the bottom. You probably can't see it so well because it's dark. There the jumper is. It's got a little ribbed bottom to it, and I've done all the neck down, but I've picked a bigger size. I've picked one of the bigger sizes because this is a double knit yarn, and I believe the pattern, I think it was worsted. However I've done it, I've picked a bigger size that in theory I would want, just because I actually want it to be an oversized jumper. I'm actually on the homeward run, because homeward bound, whatever you call it. I just have to finish. Sorry, that's really noisy, that, isn't it? That's it's, those of you who don't know what it is, if you're wondering what is that weird tube thing, I'm always getting my needles stuck into the jumper or stabbing myself with them. So these are, I think they're clover. I think they're made of clover. Don't know. I can't remember. Why do I say I think it is when I don't know? Anyway, moving on. They fit in here, so obviously they're making an annoying noise, but it does mean that my needles don't come out, and also it's trapped the ball of yarn because I've spent several hours untangling the mess I had made with the different bits of yarn. I am playing yarn checking. That is all I've got left to finish my sleeves. We'll have to see. I'm hoping this will be finished by next podcast and I will be wearing it. This has been on the needles for months and months. I don't know why I haven't finished it. I think my problem is I get distracted. There's so many great designers and patterns out there, and I think I just get distracted. Also, if it's too warm, like in the summer, I can't sit and knit a jumper. I might turn back to crochet, or I'll do something light. I did do a lot of hats leading up to Christmas, but I think that was just where sometimes, I don't know how everyone else is, but if I've got a lot going on work-wise, or I'm tired or just feeling out of sorts, I might just do a hat or something basic so that I can just pick it up and knit it and put it back down. The jumper I found, because there was some increases, and I just found that my head wasn't in the right space to finish it, because I would have really liked to have worn it last winter. I'm hoping to finish it so I can wear it before we get the milder weather. But yeah, this is a really nice pattern. So that's Tiny Teal Handcrafted. Go and check her out. She's got her own website. She also dyes yarn as well. It's a really lovely jumper pattern. So I would say for a beginner, a sort of new to jumper knitter, this would be a really good one. And that is housed in my Bertie and Poppet bag. Oh, that clicking's annoying, isn't it? I'm really sorry if you've got headphones, because I know the noises are super loud. And that's in my big sweater size bag. It isn't called that, it's just, I think it's just a large bag. So what else? Yarn subscriptions. So I have had over the years a number of different, whether it's a crochet kit, Little Box Crochet. I used to really, you know, always get her boxes. Sadly, she stopped doing them in December. She will be bringing out some ad hoc during the year. I have a number of them up there that I still haven't finished. They're on my list that I need to finish them or do something with them. I'm not the only one that has lots of things and doesn't finish them. Please tell me I'm not. I have a subscription that I get, which is really, really good value for money. And it's by Knit and Yarn. They're online for a kit. So you can sign up and do a 3-month kit, or you can just get them as and when you want. So you're not tied into every month. So you could just get one. So I've got the one that is, I think it was, what month are we in now? March. I think it was, this is either January's or February's. If you haven't got the most recent kit off of Knit and Yarn, Yarn and Knit. I think I'm tired. I need to go and have a lie down after this. Then look away, because I don't want to spoil anything, but I do really want to show these kits because they are such good value for money. Now, they don't put it in with a specific pattern, so you don't have to just make something that, you know, it just, this this is a kit, use this pattern. They actually provide a number of different patterns in there. So you get, the shape is, you get one of their little pretty little things booklets, and you normally get a couple of Yarn the After Party. Now I've got the folders that house these, which I'll have to show on another time, that they just fit into a binder. These are Shapies. They're £1, or no, they're £1.50 actually now. They're different patterns. So you get the option with these kits to pick a knitting one or a crochet, and it's either the 4-ply or the double knit. So I will get the knitting double knit, and you get in a pattern that you could make either using the yarn or with other yarn you've got, but it's along the same, because obviously I've picked double knit for this one. So within the set you get, so if you pick the crochet one, obviously you get crochet hooks. Because I've picked the knitting one, I get, now I've never used these needles before, but they're the tulip, and they're the swivel knitting needles. So like a bamboo one, and they've obviously got the swivel. Some of the knitting needles that I've used, because they don't, some people don't like the swivel ones, but I think sometimes if you're doing a big project, it would be easier, because sometimes the cord can get caught or it kinks. I've got a couple of needles that the cords have actually got a kink in them now, so they've actually become unusable. But it come with a set of them, which will be good to try, and they're the 4mm by 80 centimeters. They're circular needles. In it you get some hand-dyed yarn, Hoshki, and this is unicorn colorway, and this is superwash merino, 75% and 25% nylon, but it's double knit. So you could actually make a pair of double knit socks. Now, I've mentioned before I've only made one pair of socks. I actually really fancy making some double knit socks. They'll grow quicker, and also hopefully won't hurt my fingers so much. By the needle will be a little bit larger. That's a really nice colourway, that. And then also in it, so sometimes it'll vary. So you've got like Shapies, like a big cake of yarn and other bits. It's a really good way of just sampling some other yarns. So I've not used this yarn before. So it's Shapies Secret Garden, which is a silk blend yarn. So it came with that skein of yarn, and bear with me while I try and not drop them on the floor. So you'll see it's Secret Blend and Rambling Blooms, Lavender Beds. There's 2 of the lavender beds, and then yeah, it's got different colours in it with the Rambling Blooms. They're actually, oh there you go, I'm looking going, why has they got the same name? They're actually the same yarn, but if you look, that pink, it's actually in there. Didn't realise that. So they are actually, so where you've got these 2, yes, they're the same. They're actually the same. They're just wound a different way. Clever. I didn't realise that. Learn something new every day. But yeah, that's a really nice set. Oh, also within it, which are adorable, there's some little rainbow buttons. I think you can see that. And there is a progress keeper, which is a rainbow as well, which is lovely. Papa cheered me up seeing them. So I've got them as well. So that's a really good kit. Go and have a look over there. You're not tied into it. You might just decide to try one of the months. I find it a good way of trying other yarns out. So talking of other yarns, I'm going to I want to talk about a designer who I have a monthly subscription of, and it's quite funny. So I've already established that I don't always pronounce things the right way. Not necessarily, well, you know, when you're learning at school, you see something and it's not necessarily that's how you will say it. So this designer, I've been saying the name wrong for forever. So I actually messaged them earlier to ask if they could tell me how they pronounce it. I didn't sound like a dork at all, did I? And she's so lovely. She actually sent me a voice memo saying how it is said. So it's it makes me laugh. It's Kernow Designs, and let me just find on the label there, see if you can see the label. I've been saying that wrong for all this time, but it really made me laugh. Thank you so much. You're a lovely designer. Your customer service is fantastic. But also I appreciate the fact you told me how to say your business name. What it actually means, which I didn't know, it means Cornwall, which makes it even more lovely, the fact that she has named her business Kernow, which is Cornwall. That's lovely. So this yarn, I've got a number of her skeins of yarn. She does a couple of different, it might be more than a couple, subscription clubs. And if you haven't got February's 4-ply kit, look away, because I'm going to show it. But I want to show it because it's lovely, and I think there's a lot of really talented dyers out there that deserve a shout out. So this one is called February's Promise, and it's actually got on it, if you can see that, Dyed for Joe, which is lovely. And look at that. That is just such a pretty, but it's not an over top, so it's still got lots of the nice natural colour in it. I'm going to actually take it out so we can see. Look at that. Just blotches of colour. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, I've actually got my camera around the other way, so I have no idea what is coming in on the screen. Isn't that lovely? So that was February's colourway. And then I've got, this one is called Missing Monty 2. And this is the 100% Merino DK. Now this is lovely. My favourite colour is turquoise. My wedding dress was actually turquoise. I didn't go for traditional colour. So this is me all over. It's got mustards, love mustard colours, and pinks and greys. I haven't made anything with it yet, and I need to. I have not enough hours to play with all the yarn. But that is a lovely colourway. You really do need to go and check her out because her colourways are wonderful. And what I've had this kit for a little while, and she designed a shawl which has this lovely little pattern there. It's really crumpled. Honestly, I told you I don't look after things, but this was the whole pattern, and I bought it as a kit, and it's called Rose Petals, this colourway, and this is a set of, so it's merino nylon 75/25, the 4-ply. I'm hoping that will show up. It's looking, I think I've actually put a mirror over there so I can try and make sure that I get things into focus. But this is a red, but with, you'll see it's got lighter sections to it, and that yarn was used to make that shawl, which hopefully you can see okay. I will link it below. It's a crescent shaped shawl. I need to make it. I haven't got any shawls on my needles. I need to buck my ideas up and get knitted that. It'd be right if I didn't have to work. I could just knit and crochet all day. I probably would have excruciating pain in my fingers, but I'd still be happy though, wouldn't it? Being able to do that. Anyway, giveaway. Dun dun dun. Bit more dramatic than last time. I did try and add dramatic music. I'm going to do a little pause because that's where I could add it. There we go. Because last time the music kind of went over everything else. So the giveaway I had last time was, I talked about this on the first podcast, and it was New Fashion knitting yarn, 100% acrylic. It's not an expensive yarn. It's got a really good price point, and it's by Woolcraft, and hard wearing for that blanket that has been in the washing machine and on the floor and outside, used and abused. You will get to make a lovely blanket or whatever you wish to make with it. So it was 8 balls of yarn. It was 2 light pinks, 2 dark pinks, dark grey, and this lovely bright green. And I was throwing in a Yarn and Colours crochet hook to use with that, which is a 4mm crochet hook, and it has a little stitch marker at the bottom of it. So the giveaway, what I will do, the more, if I end up with lots more people commenting on the podcast for giveaways, then I will do like a number generator, or do another way of doing it, because it is only a small amount, which I'm not complaining about. Jake, my son, is basically, he's tasked with doing it. So how he did it, he went through all of the people and picked out, I showed him the different blankets that you were commenting on, and the one that he really liked was the chevron blanket. So the name that he then picked was Anvita Sinar. I've probably said your surname wrong. You all have been warned, my pronunciation isn't the best, but Anvita, who commented, I've had some lovely comments I've seen on my podcast videos from yourself, and I'm really happy to announce that you are the winner. I will obviously put your name underneath. Can you please send me a DM, a message, so that I can get your address off you and get that out in the post to you? And I hope you really enjoy it. And all I ask is from the giveaways, the lady who won the self-dyed yarn that I did, which is the hat over there, was so lovely. Thank you. She commented on the fact she got the gift, and also tagged me in with what she was making. I would just really love to see what you make with it. It's so nice, because obviously I get an idea of what to make with something. It's really good to see other people's ideas. So yeah, that's the only thing I ask. So maybe just tag me so I can see what you're making. But yeah, Anvita, if you can send me a message, and I will get your giveaways sent to you. So this week's giveaway, I was kind of thinking what would be good. Now what I want to do is give away one of these little bags. I don't know which fabric it will be. Yeah, I'll put it on Instagram as well, and I'll show which one it will be, because there's a number of these. I may actually get another one off of her that's more of a sort of like a star one or something like that. And inside that there will be some yarn in there. I shall put, it may be a skein of yarn, or it may be some little, do you know what I'm going to do? See, I've thought this through. I had an idea in my head, and I've changed my mind. Women's prerogative and all that. You will win one of these little bags, and it will be full of these little cottons, because I've done the cotton blanket. They're lovely. I'm going to actually do that. Little bag and a bag full. You won't just get one, because that would be a little bit tight, but you'll get a bag full of minis. So mini yarns in your mini bag, and that's going to be the giveaway for this one. So what I will ask you, if you just comment on what would be the fabric you would like on a bag. So would you have animals or dogs, or would you have spots or stars? Just something light-hearted, just so that you can put a little comment. What would be your choice of fabric on a bag if you were having a bag made? For me, I love spotty. I like the star fabric, mushrooms, flowers. I love floral bags. I like balls of yarn. So basically I like all the bags. The only thing I wouldn't like is creepy crawlies on a bag, because yeah, but they're okay. Little ladybirds, they're all right. God, I do feel like I'm rambling on this one, and I'm hot. I'm gonna have a drink, have a minute. Anyway, I'm just being me, and I don't want to keep stopping and starting it, because then it looks like it's an edited, polished video, and that's not me. So let's talk Winnie's yarn. So as I said, obviously the skein yarn that I gave away from podcast 2 is with the, is it podcast 2? Yes, podcast 2 has been is in use. So I wanted to knit a couple of things with my yarn to just give you an idea what it looks like, because often when you're dyeing yarn you get an idea in your head how the yarn will look, and then when you actually come to knitting it, it's nothing like it. So I've discovered the world of slub yarn, which looks like, have I got, no, that would be too helpful. Oh, I've got a skein here. So that's what it looks like as a skein. It's quite a plump, looks quite plump on that. But when I wound mine into a ball, it isn't as thick as you may think, but it really does knit well. So I have just knitted a basic cowl. I think this was 104 stitches, like a random number, and I did a 2, what did I do? I knitted 2 in the back loop. I don't like knit 2 purl 2 because I've used it on edges, but I just find this is more tidier. It's definitely the sort of my go-to ribbed edging. So I made this cowl using random, I can't even remember, I mean, I've lost the label. That isn't my yarn, but that's just some random, I had 1 skein of yarn with it. I've had it for ages, didn't know what to do with it. It's like a grey and some pinks. So I used that with my slub, which is like a grey, and it came out with that. So what actually happened, which I was quite excited about, my husband wasn't quite as enthusiastic, and I was going, oh look it's pooling, and had no idea what I was rambling about. But it did. Obviously you've got all these, let me show it there, little bobbly bits, which is the slub, so it's made it plumper, and it has the light grey, well, that's more of a bluey grey, isn't it, going through it. And then this yarn actually pulled. It did. I don't know whether you can see that, where it's got the grey going up across at an angle, and then the colour. It did actually start pulling. That is such a lovely snuggly cowl. I cannot put it on at the moment. I'm so warm. But it was a really quick knit, and I've not used slub in a project before, and I thought it was brilliant for a cowl. It is super warm, really snuggly, and that's a double knit yarn. But you can put it with sock yarn. I think a lot of people will use it with sock yarn, but I had a random skein of double knit. So yeah, that was with the slub. And then I showed you, which I'm going to be listing, I've sorted an Etsy page out, but I'm going to be listing these, my little mini skeins of yarn. They're 20 grams, so there's 100 grams there. So I decided, what can I knit with 100 grams of this yarn? I literally ended up with tiny little bits. I just kept knitting until it got, yeah, as near to the end so that I could sew it in. So this is with similar colours to these, so that it's using that colour, that green, and the pink. But whereas this has got 2 pinks, I actually had 2 different greens in mine. So each set is different, but I made that cowl with the 100 grams of that. So this was a lovely mindless knit, particularly where I've kind of been, you know, a bit out of sorts this week, a bit tired. It's been great just to keep knitting in the round. Sometimes it's really good to have a mindless knit. This is Merino DK. It's so soft, really, really soft. And the cowl, I've blocked it a little bit. So, I mean, it's still got plenty of stretch in it. I only lightly blocked it. What I did was I used see the 2 colours, the 2 ends, they're 120 gram, and then this is what you would get out of the 20 grams. So it's obviously knitting in the round, so it's twice the width for that. So that was the green, which was slightly lighter than that one, and then I had quite a bright pink. There is no organised thing with it. It was literally, right, I'm just going to add that colour. This is a lovely cowl. Even my husband commented on how soft it was. So yeah, and that is a snuggly cowl. And that I think was, 104 stitches, roughly. You've just got to make sure that when you're doing the ribbed part that you do your knit, like 2 knits in the back loop, 2 purls, and then when you get to the other, you just got to make sure that you're not going to have 2 knit stitches next to each other. So you just work out every 4. So I'm sure I did 102, 104, something like that. It's just random because I didn't want it too tight, but I also a couple of the other cowls I've made, I've done slightly bigger sizes, and they're quite sort of flappy here, which is a little annoying. But this, I love this. So I should make some more. But it was more just so you could see how my colours come out. It is showing this to be a little bit brighter from what I can see camera wise. But it's yeah. What you could have done micro stripes. So you could have alternated colours, or you could have maybe done, I mean, thinner stripes might have, I think that would look nice, but mine was more to just show you how the colours look knitting, because that's one thing I do like to see is when you've actually dyed some yarn, how it looks knitted up. So I was really pleased with that. So that's that kind of set. I'm just going to show you the other bits of yarn that I was dyeing. I have posted some on Instagram of Winnie's yarn. The zebra yarn, I've actually wound a ball up. So that was the teal colour that I did, that I'm going to make something with. It's this zebra yarn, which I really thought, as I said, I think on the last podcast, the ball that I bought was really quite scratchy. This isn't. This is surprising. I would actually wear this on my neck. But I did a couple of sunset type ones, rich oranges, which I really like. I'm going to look at, I think what I need to do though, I need to probably knit one so you can see how it looks, and then obviously look at listing some of these. I'm going to try and do that with the yarns, is to make an extra one so that obviously then I get a treat, I get an extra skein yarn, but also so you can see more what they look like knitted up. So these were just random, few speckles. There's another one I was playing around with the pinks and the purples. There's a bit of teal in there. Bit of, what else was in there? Oranges. It's a mixture. That's really nice. That's really soft. That is in, I think that's sock yarn, but it's really soft. I can't remember the name of which one that is. I've got so many different ones I've been playing around with. That is 4-ply yarn, and that has speckles, which hopefully you can see a bit in there. There's little bits of speckles in there. That was a nice pinky colour. What other ones? So these ones were random. So I started off doing these with a couple of different shades of pink. So I had quite a bright pink with, I think I did a lavender one in. What I have started doing is writing down the colour mixes that I'm using. Initially I was literally just writing colours in, seeing how it goes. So this has bits of orange in it, but all three, what you'll find, one's coming undone, is with these kind of yarns is, which I found, and a lot of dyers do actually say that if you're buying enough skeins of yarn to make a jumper with, you won't get the same colours. They're hand dyed, even if they've got, they do. I've done fairly okay with getting them similar, but they won't be an exact match because they're hand dyed. So on here you can see how it's got little pops of orange in it, and then it's got some lighter bits. But this is Merino DK, which is so soft. and that's what I've made that cowl out of, which is a really, really lovely soft cowl. Merino is soft, I find, the ones that I've been using. So I'm not going to attempt to wind that up now. So I've got 3 of them. I think I'm going to use one and, like I said, knit some things with that. And my favourite turquoise teal. I think I actually did that in turquoise. What I was doing, I was playing around because teal can be quite dark, but if you alter the concentration of it, you can get quite a light. I absolutely love that. Problem is, because I like so many of the colours, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to sell any, because I'm like, oh, I'll use that one, and then I'll use that one. And then this one I did, I was like, oh no, I like that one as well. This has some denim colours in it. It's got a sort of mauvey colour, bit of blues. Really, it's really soft. But I thought that might look quite nice if you want, because it's 4-ply. I'm trying to see if I have that starting a... This one is a double knit. You could mix them 2 together. You know, if you wanted a more plumpy on, if you wanted a chunky hat or something. But yeah, I need to, yeah. I'm going to be listing some soon. I just probably need to stop looking at it going, oh, I like that and I want to make that, because I, as you can see, I have a number of skeins of yarn behind me. I'm not going to go without by actually selling them. I just enjoy the whole dyeing. So if I can do some colours and other people can get some enjoyment out of them, then that's my excuse for doing it. Anyway, that's how I justified buying the yarn to my husband. Say no more. So yeah, I think I've waffled on enough. I do feel I've gone a bit waffly on this one. That's just how I feel at the minute, a bit all over the place. I hope everyone is okay. I hope everyone stays safe, and I hope you all get some time to have a bit of time out for yourselves, whether it's knitting or crochet or just having a cup of tea in a quiet space, or take a nice walk. We're going to be doing a walking challenge to do with our jobs, which starts next month, charity. We did one last year and it actually got us out walking a lot. So I'm looking forward to starting that. I've just got to incorporate how I can walk and knit and not fall over. Any tips on that would be appreciated. So yeah, if you want to comment below to enter the giveaway, please do so. And I should put some pictures of what I'm going to be putting in the bag, in the little gift bag, on Instagram, and I hope to see you back here really soon. Thank you for watching. As I said, I really do appreciate it. I do feel I've waffled too much. I think I've also said waffled about 10 times. So yeah, I'm gonna go and have a lie down now. So take care everyone. Bye.